I'm BugeyeBob, and I'm on a mission to resurrect this 1958 Austin Healey Mark I Sprite from this to this so it doesn't end up in this. So these two pieces go on the drive shaft tunnel, and they need a 1/2-inch flange on them. They will have to be trimmed to length, but that's all right. I went through in a previous video and showed how I fixed the press brake so that it would come up tight enough to where I could get an actual 1/2-inch flange, and showed you how I measured it to ensure that I was getting a 1/2-inch flange. Now then, the problem I got is that's not long enough. So let me stop while I put in a longer section of die. This is a 1/2-inch. This is a 1/2-inch. All right, let's do this big mother. Pretty good, pretty close. Let's get this bit in the middle here. Look, looks like we got a little bit of a curve to it, but that's all right. We can straighten that out. Huh. That turned out to be 1/2-inch on the outside, but not 1/2-inch on the inside. The first one was 1/2-inch on the inside. Well, well, well. Huh. Wonder why that is. It's like my die is tipped back. How far off is that? There's 7/16 on the inside. That's odd. What does that mean? Well, that looks like it's exactly the same distance as it was from the original bend I did a few minutes ago. Yeah, I mean, that's... What the hell, did I misread the first one? Clang, clang, clang. All right. No, the first one's 7/16 on the inside also. 1/2-inch on the outside. Well, at least I'm consistent. All right. We're just going to make this one 3.5. I think that goes on there. That's right. Well, I don't know which side it goes on, but as long as it matches the writing, I think we're okay. All right. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. You can now make a one-time or recurring donation to help save Lazarus through PayPal. For less than the price of a cup of coffee each month, you can support this project as a member on Patreon. See the links in the description below. Looks like 90. A little bit of warpage in the middle. That'll be just fine when it's stretched just a little bit. Yep. So that's not quite a 90 degree yet. About that first. That's good. This one here needs to be tweakified. I think that's it. Good there. Yep, pretty good to me. All right. And that is how you put angle flangers on. So I've got to cut this notch out in here. This piece had to fit down where it lines up for that bolt hole right there. Yeah, something like that. This notch has to be cut out, the bolt hole has to be lined up. And then I've got to tack it in and with a few tacks, and then I'll do the infamous Fitzy Fabrications cut and butt to get that piece in there, get it tacked up. And then if you can see down in there, if you can see right down in there, you can see that this other side is rotted out, so I'll have to do the same thing on that side. So I've actually started to cut on that side. Okay, one of the things that I found that helps when you're welding, trying to keep things flat, is if you can put a piece of backer in there, a heat sink. This happens to be a 1 inch by 2 inch by, I don't know, 4 inch wide chunk of aluminum. And all I do is I clamp it back behind the area where I'm going to be welding. Like so. And that keeps things pretty much flat. Come around this way and slap another one right on. Nope, I'm gonna slide that back just a little bit. Let's get it cut back right to there. And that's got to come to right there like that. So what that does is that gets these two pieces of metal flat, gives a tight backer behind them where I've got something that I can use as a heat sink. Unfortunately, in cutting this, I couldn't get a tight joint. It was just, I mean, with what I had to cut with, it was almost impossible. And when you get, if you look over to this side even further, you'll see that things get even worse over there. So for instance, right in there, that's a pretty nasty gash, but by doing this,
I should be able to weld that down. And I've also learned weld about 1 inch at a time, grind it down, then hammer it down and do it that way. Well, the other things I've learned is you can save yourself some time grinding and save some grinding discs if you use a little burr. This happens to be a carbide burr. If you use it to grind the bulk of the metal off with before you start using the grinding disc. Yeah, I just got to get in here to get at the goddamn thing now. Another little tip for you. If you ever TIG welding and you're going along and then all of a sudden you hit a spot like this where the weld just beads up and won't settle down, the reason is that piece of metal right there is dirty. Now, I had gone over this and ground it, and I had gone over it with a wire brush to wire brush it. But that piece of metal right there is still dirty, and that's why this bead won't go down and settle down into the weld. So I'm going to have to grind that all out, clean it up again, probably with some acetone, whatever you want to call it, and then carry on from there. Just thought you should know. Quick wrap up on things. I've got the bottom of the sides of the drive shaft tunnel taken care of. That's all patched up. It's ugly, but that's going to be covered by carpeting, so you're not going to see it anyways. And let's see, did I get this so I can roll it around and catch the other side? No, I didn't. Why the hell would I want to do that? And here you can see this side, including, had to cut out the notch out for that. I did not do all of these all the way back inside of here because the next thing that has to come out is this big panel here and these braces. Let's back up just a little bit. So this big panel that runs across here, rear panel and what the cockpit or whatever you call it, these braces have to come out, and then the new panel has to be slid in, and then these can be put in over top of it. So this is going to be the next thing that comes out. It's kind of hard to try to get in and do the welding on the last couple of inches of these lower pieces, patch panels on the drive shaft tunnel. So I'm going to take this thing out and these two brackets, braces, brackets, whatever you want to call them, and then I will finish repairing the ends of these because I'll have room where I can get at them easily that way. What else have we got going on here? Let me sneak around here. I've gotten these pieces for the A-pillars welded in. This side didn't buckle too much. The other side buckled a lot. I went and did a lot of heat shrinking on the other side, did a little bit on this side too. Try to get these panels so that they're fairly tight and flat. Welded in these ears that have to be in to support the A-pillar and also to support the channel that holds the rubber gasket for the bonnet seal. Let's see, what else do we have here? This around like so. And here you can see the other A-pillar support. This one's a little bit springier for some reason. I don't know why. You'll see all of this copper-colored weld-through primer. There's going to be some stuff welded on here, but you're going to see that all over the place because I was getting to the point where I was running low in the can, and I was just doing things to use it up. So any place that needed to be primed, that I basically just used that pretty much to take care of it. So I still have to weld in the foot pads panels that go in here like this, but I want to get the sills. I want to get the sills on each side replaced first, because once I take off the sills, then I've still got to repair the bottom of these panels here. And part of that is going to be where those foot rests, I guess you can call them, have to be welded on the outside here by the sills. So best to get the sills replaced first. So again, next up is going to be replacing that panel in the rear of the cockpit area, the floor brackets. There are braces that run, see if I can swing this around. There are braces that run from here all the way up to the cross beam here that will also need to be welded in. I've got to repair this area here. For some reason, this side rusted out real bad. The other side didn't, but I've got to repair the last couple of inches of this on this side. And once I get that done, then get this piece out, get this repaired, get those braces in, then I can start looking at putting back in the floor pans. So lots of stuff coming up. That's where it's all headed. Okay, that's it for this episode. Gone over what's coming up in the future. Please like, share, subscribe. YouTube's kind of weird. It doesn't recommend anything unless you like and subscribe. But there's a lot of people, in fact, I would venture to say, based on looking at other channels, 98% of the people who watch a video don't hit the like button. 99.999% of them don't comment. Yeah, those are the two things that YouTube seems to be using to recommend the videos to other people. I think it'd be a little bit better if they went by how long did somebody watch this video. Maybe they do include that a little bit, I don't know. But I'm amazed because I watch some of these content creators that have 1 million followers and only have like, they have 1 million followers, they have 900,000 views on a video, and a couple hundred comments, and maybe 1,000 likes out of 900,000 views. Well, that's not realistic of what's going on YouTube. So I don't know. Anyways, like, share, subscribe. You can help support this channel by signing up as a member on Patreon, $4 a month. Or you can make a one-time donation or a recurring donation via PayPal, links below. All support is greatly appreciated, folks. It's a lot of effort to go through and do this, and it's not cheap to do it either. So I think that's it. Have a great life. Look forward to seeing you next week. Over and out.
Well, folks, that's it for this episode of BugeyeBob. I really appreciate you watching and hope that, like me, you've learned a few things to do, or maybe not to do, in this episode. Please like and comment on this video, as it encourages YouTube to share it with others and helps grow the channel. Make sure you subscribe and click the bell to get notified when new videos are released. If you'd like to support this channel and save Lazarus from the recycle furnace, you can now make a one-time or recurring donation through PayPal. You can also support this restoration project by becoming a member at patreon.com/BugeyeBob. Patreon members get early access to the videos, and in the future will enjoy question and answer sessions and live streams. As this channel grows, future Patreon member benefits will include bonus or extended videos, member names in the credits, and the ability to suggest topics for future videos. You can follow this BugeyeBob restoration on YouTube and Facebook. You'll find the links in the description below for PayPal, Patreon, YouTube, and Facebook. Once again, thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, and supporting this channel.